Welcome back, we the people. Continuing reading, chapter 13, verse 4. This is Dr. Malachi Z. York's right translation for this day and time. And everyone in the whole world worshipped the reptilian, representative here of the United States. There isn't a nation on earth who doesn't bow to this country, America. The United States has made the world dependent upon it in some shape or form, either financially, economically, or militarily, which gave power to the human beast. The United States is so powerful because it has literally received its power from the evil reptilian. Since the term of Woodrow Wilson, succeeding presidents have been under the influence and guidance of the Illuminati for the State of Israel. Several presidencies were instrumental to their cause. For instance, President Franklin D. Roosevelt was manipulated by the Jebusites from the time he went to Albany as governor to the state of New York to being a president of the United States. He was responsible for entering the United States into World War II. President Harry S. Truman helped the Zionists when he recognized Israel as a sovereign state. As a result, there was an armed uprising in Palestine by 800,000 armed aliens transported into Israel in a conspiracy organized by Zionists throughout the world. It was President Truman who helped Israel become a member of the United Nations. President Dwight D. Eisenhower is another president who was a pawn in the hands of the Jebusites. The Jebusites was responsible for Eisenhower being elected as President of the United States. As a result, President Eisenhower remained faithful to these Zionists and tried to oblige them whenever he could. In 1956 AD, Zionists' illegal occupation of Palestine still existed. There appears to be a misprint here. This is the reader speaking, and I'll read on. The middle, Zionists, an illegal occupation of Palestine, another $500 million of United States taxpayers' money. President Nixon was in favor of the illegal and immoral theft of Palestine by the Zionists. In 1981 AD, President Reagan made a covenant of support for the State of Israel, where the United States would protect Israel for a period of 7 years. Although power is passed on to Israel, there is still no other country which can compare with the United States in wealth or power. After the former President George Bush was sworn into office, the pale so-called Jew has been losing his power. Their time is up, and the South is now in power, and the Republicans are in office. You are going to see a rise in the war that is taking place in Israel. Former President Bush told the Jebusites to withdraw their troops from Israel, and the Jebusites told them no. Things may be at a standoff for the Jew, but just because the focus is off them for a while doesn't mean he is resting in his devilishment. And they worship the human beast, saying, "Who is like this human beast?" No nation can be compared to the United States. Its culture and influence dominates the whole world. Who is able to fight with him? What nation is able to wage war against America and its Jewish allies and win? Verse 5, chapter 13, verse 5, King James mistranslation. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to to continue 40 and 2 months. Dr. York's right translation: Then he, the state of Israel, was given a mouth, a place in the United Nations on May 11, 1949 AD, when the state of Israel became a member of the United Nations and authority was given to it. The state of Israel, even though it had not complied with the United Nations resolution, it was still granted the favor of becoming a member to do things for 42 months, which is 3.5 years. Verse 6. The mistranslation by King James. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. Close quotation. Dr. York right translation. And he, the state of Israel, opened his mouth once it opened a place in the United Nations. It used its position to assert its own philosophies in order to reach its goal, that of securing its so-called homeland, blaspheming against Yahweh of the Elohim, using the United Nations as an open forum to speak out as if it were supreme. And he blasphemed his name and his tabernacle and the dwellers of the Orion skies. Verse 7, the heading of verse 7 is, the beast wants to kill the holy ones. King James mistranslation. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Close quotation. Dr. York's right translation. And he, the state of Israel, was given the right to take over Palestine from the native Arabs and kill. They were given the permission to take Palestine from the native Arabs, the original inhabitants, and settle within area, pushing them out, and then make war with the Arabs who tried to retaliate against the actions of the so-called Jews. They had the right to kill the holy ones, the 144,000, and to conquer them. Once he realizes the power of our teachings, he will try to stop the propagation of right knowledge, right wisdom, leading to right overstanding and sound right reasoning, and a pure heart, nuwabu. Authority was given over all the tribes and nations of people and tongues and every Gentile nation. The United States gave the state of Israel the power in the United Nations to do whatever they wanted to inhabitants of other countries like Lebanon, Palestine, Syria, and Ethiopia. Verse 8. Heading: All who worship the beast has their name taken out of the scroll of life. We'll continue on the next recording, people, so I'll see you on the other side.